Hi, welcome back. So we're at the outline of random remarks. Let's say I would have a class called the warehouse, and basically the warehouse have two variables. Now basically if I would have to define W1, it's an instance from the warehouse, W1 dot the purpose, and also W1 dot the region. Result as expected to be it's a storage and it's in the West. However, if I want to create another variable instantiated from the warehouse, I'm going to do something before printing. I'm going to say W2 dot region. This is going to be on the east. Let's see the result. As you may expect, it is a storage and it's in the east. The next thing we're going to look at is something called the inheritance. And of course, a language feature would not be worthy of the name class without supporting inheritance. The syntax by defining class, and this is the derived class name, and is going to open brackets and say, I'm going to inherit from this base class name. Now, one important thing is the base class doesn't have always to be in the same directory or inside the same module where you are. Maybe I could just have a module that I imported, and then I would like to access a class inside a different module. Also, you don't have only to inherit only one class, so I can inherit multiple bases. So I could inherit from base 1, from base 2. Now, next thing may be related to a private variables. I think to explain this, I would like to creating an official example. I would say my class. I'm going to define the invoked init function. And one more thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the underscore. I will say private. Let's see if I have access to it or not. I'm going to assign a variable. Now next I'm going to create another class. I will call it derived from my class, and I'm going to also define init. And one more thing, I'm going to say self.private var. So I'm using the exact same name like the private var up there. Let's go ahead, create two instances. The first one I'll call it x. I will say this x is going to be instance from the derived from my class instance. And then I'm going to create one more, we'll call it y, and it's going to be instant from my class directly. Now I'm going to get to the x, which is a member of this derived class, and I try to reach out to this item my class, which is actually from the base class. I would like to access this item my class, which is from the base, all right, and then assign to it a new value with 60, for example. Let's try to print again. And as I expected, yes, I get it, and it's 60. So is it other way around possible? It means if I get back to y here, which is an instance of my class, can I access this guy, like the derived item down here? Let's see what the result looks like. Well, we got a problem here. What's the problem say? It has no attribute it calls a derived item at all. So what does that mean? Every variable inside the derived class can inherit and access whatever is inside the my class, but not the other way around. Now, the next thing I would like to say, I would like to access the private variable, this value. Now, what's the problem here? He said the derived right has no attribute called a private var because I deleted the assignment, so I couldn't really read whatever has been assigned to it. So I have to assign it one more time to this private variable. However, if I want to access to it directly, it means I didn't do an assignment. I just get to X and I say, please print whatever the private variable is in there, the value, which it should be like that. I should run into an error, and that error is say I can't see, there is nothing called a private variable. Now, questions to you how to get around that problem. So I have to create another function. It basically just return the self.private var and see what the result looks like as we expected. And we get here, this is from the derived class, which is exactly as it's been assigned in here. Next, we'll be looking at something called the odds and the ends, maybe generators as well. I will see you then.